Hey guys, this is a different video than what I usually make. This is gonna be an opinion piece. I know, kinda weird, right? This is an experimental type of video, and if you would like to see more, comment down below and I'll probably make another opinion piece if this video reaches like 100 likes or something. So first, this was supposed to be a video about 6 digits usually getting memed on for having shit plays. However, I needed to confirm that sentiment, so I started a survey, and I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, I would like to say thank you to those people who answered. There were over 300 of you who answered, and almost all of you put out so many varying answers that it helped me push this video through, and I'm glad for that. Except for you, one spammer who decided to fill in 100 or so responses with the same thing. I hope you know that you pretty much just wasted your time, considering I can literally just delete all of the spam in one go. Idiot. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah. 6 digits have more potential than you think. There are many 6 digits in this game. It's the second largest rank group and fills up so much of the player base. Because of this, I decided to split them up into 3 categories. Let's start with the first one, the new ones. These guys usually don't know about farming just yet. I mean, some of them do, like me back then sporting my 43 PP play on Black Rover. These guys usually float around the rank 999,999 to 700,000. And they are just having fun with the game. They are playing maps for the songs they like, and generally they don't care about their rank and just want to play the game. These guys were the rarest to come across when looking at the responses in-game, because these guys are usually new, of course. These guys have so much potential, and if you start making fun of these guys, you'll just end up discouraging them. I'm happy to report that this has been happening less frequently in the community, as only a handful said yes to having a bad experience. Of course, there are those bad apples that just go in and say, "Oh, I FC'd this map with DT," or "Oh, that's not hard at all," and these guys should just stop, honestly. I mean, like, come on. Imagine some 6-digit had the potential to be the next MREC, and you just came in and said, "Oh, you, my child, will never make it no matter how much effort you put in, because my top play on Harumachi Clover Insane is much better than your top play on Harumachi Clover Easy." Bro, who cares? Okay, maybe that was just an exaggeration. Please, just leave these new players be, okay? And let them enjoy the game. After all, we don't know their true dedication and skill until they get good. And they can't get good if their motivation is at a low because of some asshole. Now, I'll also give advice to these new players. If you're aiming for the top, great, but it's also okay if you will play this game casually. There's nothing wrong with just playing the game and enjoying it. If you want to do it, do it. And if people keep talking about your rank, just ignore them. I know it may be hard, but that's what the block and mute feature is for. For those who want to improve at the game, my advice is for you to, well, play more. I know it may seem overused, and it is, but it is generally great advice. However, I think it is also missing one word. I think they should say, play more maps. Because it can really limit you if you only have like 100 or so, 510 or so maps. You should really download more maps so that you can expose yourself to multiple types of maps, as jumping and aiming are not the only map types after all. This is not only limited to this rank range either. I think everyone should expose themselves to multiple new maps as well. And there are tools that can help you download a bunch of beat maps at one time, like beat map packs. They helped me get more maps when I couldn't find ones that fit my playstyle. You can also just download random maps that were recently ranked. And my personal favorite method, using the batch beatmap downloader program made by NZ Basic, which allows you to get a lot of maps at once. Hashtag not sponsored. Link in the description down below to all of these tools, and if you think this doesn't help you, these were my top plays before and after getting these maps, after like, 2 months. So yeah, it works really well. Alright, now let's move on to the second group, the group that I think is one of the most memed on in terms of 6 digits. That's right, we have here the farming saga era of players. Being in the 700,000 to 300,000 rank range, these guys have discovered the full extent of farming. Well, not all of them. Back in 2019 or so, most of these guys would have all been playing some random farm. But now I feel that since farm maps are generally gaining hatred, the number has lessened significantly since those days. But of course, the majority of the players in this rank range still fall under the Farming Saga label. I went to the Bulgaria rankings because why not, and looked at the players in this rank, and their top plays were mostly the same. Aina Schema, Mizuoto to Curtain, Hitori Goto, and whatever maps the youngsters play nowadays. Looking at the data for these guys, specifically for the question, have you ever felt discouraged to share your top plays? These guys generally say yes to having been discouraged from sharing some of their plays. Some of them dove deeper and said that it was weird to put their 4-star FC next to a guy with a 7-star FC, or that they'll be regarded as an aim one trick instantly, or they say, "Oh, who cares about my 4-star play? It's a 4-star play." Of course, this doesn't apply for every person in this rank range, with some being confident and proud of their top plays. And for you guys, keep doing what you're doing. But I do have one piece of advice for the guys that get discouraged, and that is to be proud. Be proud of your accomplishments. Don't let others hinder your progress, and just be confident in your ability to play the game. You decide what is good and what is not. If you got your first 100 PP play on Marshmary, good job. As long as you are respectful about it, you have the right to say, "Hey, let's go guys, I got my first 100, ain't no way, I can't believe this is happening." And if you don't have anyone to share it with, there are plenty of communities that you can join that won't immediately shit on you for setting scores like these. Like my Discord server. Whenever you set a top play, we will celebrate with you, and you can even share that play in the Gameplay Submissions channel so that in my future videos, your play can be featured. Link in the description and pinned comment down below. And don't be discouraged to share your plays, because remember, you decide what you are proud of and no one else can take that away from you. I also want to acknowledge those who decided to stray from the group and played various types of maps aside from farm. For you guys, good job and keep up what you're doing. You're doing just fine. Now, to the final and my favorite category. Those guys. Ranks 300,000 to 100,000. The final road to 5 digits. These guys come in so many subgroups, it's honestly insane. There are those farmers from the last rank range continuing and are now becoming burnt out. The tech guys, gimmick players, D-rankers, alt players, consistency players, all-rounders, and speed players. By the way, if I had a nickel every time I saw a player FC Tower of Heaven another with DT as a 6 digit, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. This is crazy since I remember being absolutely proud of my 1 miss back when I was in the Farming Saga era. Then you consider rank decay. When I started writing this script 2 weeks ago, the PP required to get to 5 digit was 4,449. Now it is 4,460, which will definitely get outdated by the time I release this video. In fact, when I became 5 digit, it only required around 4,050 PP. And that was just a year ago. So it makes sense that players around this range of 6 digit are just way better than those from 3 years ago. Now, onto the stats. The average rank of the players who responded to the spreadsheet is 175,000. So, there are a lot of players who are from this rank range who answered, giving me some great data. By this point, players have spent sufficient time in the game to develop their fundamentals. And so, they usually don't get discouraged and usually don't have a bad experience with their top plays. So, I want to focus this section to the 2 questions. What causes you to enjoy the game, and do you feel motivated to continue to grind? So let's begin with some of the responses. What causes you to enjoy the game? Playing outside the comfort zone by playing higher star rating, using mods to expand on my skills. I also find music that I've never heard of in my entire life, like Toho and J-pop songs. And I enjoy their songs outside Osu. I also started playing other game modes, which adds a bit of a challenge to me and brings more motivation to play the game again. The maps, the songs, community, and nostalgia for my first years here, I'm from 2013 by the way, the strong sense of progression and getting better. This game gives me every emotion under the sun, from laughter and joy to disappointment and depression. It's great. It's my favorite game. Competing with my friends and the happy hormones from getting big PP. Getting scores that I always wanted and gaining ranks, of course. Mostly I enjoy Osu because of the variety of the maps and songs it can provide. Isn't it great that a game with such a simple mechanic can achieve a lot with such a small community? I always thought that it's nice to be a part of it. On the other hand, I really like the fact that there is something for anyone who wishes to play Osu. It could be the genre of music, playstyle, or mapping. There are also many more responses boiling down to "It's fun" or "PP, rank, improve, yes." All of the responses above responded to a yes when asked if they are motivated. And that is great to see, that there are a lot of players that are still motivated when it comes to grinding. But there are also a handful of players that said no. Why? Some don't grind and just enjoy the music. Some said kinda, some are enjoying the game, and some just don't have the time. And that's fine, honestly. It's natural that the game you are playing gets stale from time to time. But if you want something to work for in this game to give you motivation, you can look to completing some side quests. There is more to this game than the PP system. Take for example, The Shadow of Dark, a regular 5-digit till you realize, holy shit, he has 35,000 silver SS's. Wait, he had negative 1,000 SS's at one point? Holy shit, he cleared all maps that are below 2.5 stars with 3 mod? God damn. There are also players like Maklovitz, who through their sheer dedication became #1 ranked score. Momo the Melon, Persegrony, and Zazuma, Osu completionists. This one guy who didn't like being called a 6-digit, so in his infinite wisdom, deranked all the way to 7-digit. Wait, what? Or you can play in the many tournaments and start being crazily good. It's all up to you. This game doesn't have a specific quest to complete, and you can make your own. Make a path for yourself, and trust me, profile reviewers like me, twitch.tv/chromqing, will always be shocked at what you have achieved for sure. And that's pretty much it. And if you don't like actually playing the game, but you kinda wanna be involved in some form, there's always mapping. You can even try the other game modes such as Taiko, Catch, and Mania if you want to. To those motivated, continue your grind. It's so simple to deviate because of boredom, but I believe that you can reach your end goal whatever it may be. You just have to push on. And if you want to make sure you are on the right path, you can check out my Twitch. I review profiles every Saturday, and I have not rated anyone below 4.5 yet. And best of all, it's free. Whether it be you are a 6-digit or 2-digit, don't be scared because I won't be mean. Now, we have one question left to answer. How do you feel about being a 6-digit? I really could break through any time being so close, but the only time I ever think about it is when someone mentions it. Usually someone I've played a tourney with or an old multi-partner will be surprised I'm not higher ranked. But I don't really play for rank or improvement. Just fun, and not every day. It's no mark of shame or issue, just a stage everyone goes through. Some people are just faster than others. I see 6-digit players as a whole majority of player who enjoys playing the game or actively watch top player setting score. But there are some 6-digit player who has the toxic side of the community who tends to throw shades at new up-and-coming new player because they improve faster than they could, or throw shades at other player who are slightly better than them, especially on Twitter and on Reddit, for no reason, like making false cheating allegations or throw shades they did were worse back in the Wild West or what? When I was 6-digit, I just felt like there was a lot I could do to get much better at the game, and I would look up to higher ranked players in multis when I did play them. When I was a 6-digit, and even as a 5-digit, I didn't feel like I was actually a part of the community. If anything, I just felt like a burden in the community despite having barely any connections in it. I feel like 6-digit falls into 2 categories. 1. PP farm tryhards that end up quitting most of the time. 2. Enjoy game crusaders that refuse to or unable to farm and end up never gaining skill. And there you go. There are so many more varying options about 6-digits. But since we would be here forever if I ended up mentioning all of them, this is what I picked. This proves that 6-digits are a mixed bag, and not all of the community knows how much potential they truly have. They may be lower ranked than us, but they can still provide input, and unfortunately, there are cases where the input is just nonsensical. But there are still a lot of good apples that can truly provide some based inputs, so don't disregard them. Some of them can beat 5-digits in their specific skill sets, so they can be very scary, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any friends struggling, send in this video. And if you enjoyed me rambling about 6 digits for at least, 15 minutes straight, click the like button. And once again, if you enjoy opinion pieces like this, let's get this video to 100 likes. And of course, subscribe and look forward to part 1 of my number 2 players video. Thanks for watching.